Good morning, councillors, once again. It is now 9 o'clock and we are about to start our council meeting. Today is the 30th of September and this is our ordinary council meeting. The session will be streamed live on YouTube for the first time on the municipal YouTube page, and I would like to welcome all of you. I know there are members of the public that are going to make a presentation on the valuation role. I'm not sure if they are present in the chambers. If they are, I would like to welcome them.
Yes, Speaker, they are present.
Thank you.
From DPP Property Valuation.
Thank you very much, Emma. Then I did receive application for leave of absence from Councillor Nell. That has been granted, so Councillor Nell won't be able to attend the meeting. I also take it that the mayor are in the chambers already. Can I just get confirmation of that?
Not yet, Speaker.
Okay. I think we will continue. Can we just observe a moment of silence for those of us that belongs to different religious groupings or beliefs? Thank you very much. If we then go to item number 2 on our agenda, the attendance registers, I take it, is circulating. Mrs. Jansen, can you give me confirmation of that, please?
Circulated, Speaker. We're signing it.
Thank you very much, MM. Then our next item on the agenda, as I've indicated, is item 3. I received one application for leave of absence from Councillor Nell. Can we confirm that? There's nothing else, MM, on your side? If there's nothing, we can go to the next item. That is item number 4, confirmation of the minutes of the last council meeting that was held on the 31st of August. Let me just get to the minutes on my side. Confirmation of minutes. Okay, we will go through them page by page for corrections, and then we will do the confirmation. Page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, page number 6, page 7, page number 8, and wait a second. I've lost it now. And just get to page number 8. I lost my page. Okay. Page number 9. Page 10. And that should be the last page. Page 10 is the last page. Page 11 is the last page. And then we have the attendance registers. Let me just check how many of there's 2 pages of attendance registers, 3 pages of attendance registers. Is that a true reflection, councillors?
Confirm, Speaker.
Councillor Van Reiningen is speaking.
Thank you, Councillor Van Reijnen. You propose acceptance
Speaker?
of the minutes?
No,
Yes,
Speaker,
Councillor Van
I
Reijnen.
just want to make a correction there. My first letter of my name is not correct. It's R Van Reijnen. It's not V. It must be V Van Reijnen.
Okay, page, was that on the attendance register?
On the attendance register where we must sign, there it's a R, it's not a V. I just noticed it when I went through the agenda.
Okay, that will be corrected. It's Councillor V Van Reijnen, not R Van Reijnen. Thank you very much, Councillor, for that. I heard somebody saying that's a true reflection. Which councillor was that?
Councillor Mbali.
Thank you, Councillor Mbali. Is there a seconder?
Seconded, Speaker, the Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Thank you very much. If we could then go to our next item on the agenda, it's item number 5. It's statements and communications by the Executive Mayor. Mr. Mayor, are you in?
Good morning, Speaker and councillors.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Welcome.
Speaker, there is nothing much to say except just to give an update. I think the storm of COVID-19 has passed now, but I think we've got another storm in the form of community unrest, especially in the area of Kolweni. I just want to update Councillor on the matter. I think on Monday last week, I've discovered that there are some delays with regard to the completion of the TRA. The original date for the handover of the TRA was supposed to be in the beginning of September. But there were some delays, and then on Monday last week, I invited the contractors, all the stakeholders involved, and the consulting companies, community leaders, our officials, and then I needed a report on the state of affairs around the project. It became very clear that the delay was not really the making of the contractor itself. It was to do with also the COVID-19 lockdown, the supply of material. The contractor actually promised that the handover will be done next Friday. But subsequent to that, because they just wanted to finish the snacks. And then again, we had a meeting with them this week on Monday again, because I'm having almost weekly meetings with them. Yesterday, I've met with them, and they are in a position of handing over today about 82 structures today. But also we discovered that the 82 from today and maybe again on tomorrow and Friday, so that the whole week, this week, they will finish everything. But also there was an issue around the electrification of the very same structures. With regard to electrification, the contractor was invited, and then the issue was the transformer. The transformer has been provided according to the report yesterday, but there have been a bone of contention, Speaker, here and councillors. The community of Kolweni, they don't want the subcontractor, which is appointed by the main contractor based on the 30% SMMEs. The community of Kolweni do not want that contractor to work there because it's a contractor that is coming outside Kolweni Boseskhef community. They say it's coming from KwaNokuthula and then it's been working for quite some time with the main contractor. When we interrogated the matter, it was discovered that in the area of Kolweni, Boseskhef, there is no small companies or contractor that has registered as an electricity company which has got the relevant paperwork or documentation. Since they don't have the documentation, the main contractor cannot allow them to work on the issue of electricity, which is a very dangerous thing. So there are certain certificates that they need before they can work on the poles and so on and so on. So they were told that, look, it's unfortunate that as a main contractor, we can't subcontract you. It was discovered also that in the area of Greater Plettenberg Bay, there are only 3 small companies that are registered as electrical companies for the entire plat. This one company happened to be one of the 3. And then there's been engagement between now this subcontractor and the community of the, in fact, it's a business forum of Kolweni, Boseskhef. So the business forum seemed to agree with the subcontractor that if you will have to work, electrify these houses, you will have to share with us the profit, which is 50-50. And then the question is, how do I share 50-50 from my profit with you? What is it that you will do for me to share 50-50? And then that's what was the concern. And then the subcontractor is saying, look, I've got the expertise, I've got everything, I've got the paperwork. You don't have the paperwork to claim 50-50, but we are willing to negotiate with you based on the role that you will play in the electrification, in the 30% houses electrification. So we are willing to accommodate you. So they've agreed that they will work together. So yesterday, the chairperson could not commit whether this 50-50, they will allow the subcontractor to not to share the 50-50 kind of a profit. They also needed to know what is this 30% that they will getting. Fortunately, the main contractor said, we can't tell you because we are not contracted to you. We have provided the 30% figure to the subcontractor, and then you can always get that figure from the subcontractor. But yesterday we ended up agreeing that for the sake of transparency, you will be shown this 30%, although it's about it's for the subcontractor, which they said it's not from the area. But unfortunately, there's none in that area with electricity qualified company and certificate. So they've agreed that from today they will start to electrify houses. I'm not sure if they give you a call, because they were saying last night they will have a meeting as a business forum and they will inform us today as to what is the decision, and then immediately they will start to work if they agree. With regard to the unrest, Speaker, from last week, we were very shocked because in the meeting on Monday we had with the leadership of that community, we ironed out everything. We told them that the DRA will be finished, and before the 15th, we need to start to move some families. As these houses get finished, we move some families into the DRA. We agreed on that. We agreed that the 15th of October must be the date whereby electrification is done, and most of the houses actually been finished. We've agreed on that. We've agreed that there will be a transport that will be provided for the removal of those families. The issue of the beneficiaries was also a concern, because the Speaker, let me be honest with you and councillors, there are some people that are not interested to move from that area for various reasons. One of those people, they've benefited from RTP houses before. Some of them happened to sell their houses and went back to the shacks. Some people do own houses as we speak, but they are renting them out. Other group is a business group which feels that if they might, that area we remove those shacks in that area, their business is going to actually die. So that's another concern from that community, some of the group members there. So it's quite a concern, Speaker, because some people also, they own shacks there. Some will rent shacks to others and some will rent shacks. So there's also a lot of business transactions that are happening in that area. So in terms of removing people, Speaker, to the DRA, from the next week on, we are ready to move them, because we just wanted to make sure that everything around electricity is done this week. From next week, we are removing them to the beneficiaries, to the DRA. But also we need to start to plan, Speaker, for the non-beneficiaries. The non-beneficiaries also need to be catered for. I'm talking now about those people who don't have houses, who are also not on the database to receive houses. The deputy went to address, because immediately after that meeting on Monday, I think it was on Wednesday, then they started to embark on the issue of unrest again. Once we had a meeting on Monday and we agreed on everything with the committee leaders, I found the councillor, what happened now? Because you and the leaders there, you were supposed to go back and report to the community. Councillor Machila said, I have reported to the community. Also, the leaders also tried to report to the community. And then I was told that they want to see the mayor. Unfortunately, I couldn't see them. And then the deputy went and addressed them. The deputy also, when I got the report from him, he actually gave them the very same response which was agreed upon in the meeting we had with them. But an interesting question that keep on coming, which the leaders also raised in the meeting on Monday, also came out in that meeting. I think that is also the question of today's action. That question is, when are you appointing the contractor and who is this contractor? Now, the MM gave a response to them on Monday last week that we cannot, the contractor will be appointed, but the problem that we're having, we're waiting from the province because we need to address the issue of a quantum. You will understand that to build an RTP house, the provincial government budget about 150,000 to build one RTP house. But in this case, when the MM went out on tender, all the companies that actually quoted and became the best companies for the matter won, they are all beyond, above the 150,000 mark. Now that, once that happened, it means that the budget we got from the province, it will be actually not enough to build houses, because once that happens, now you need now the provincial government to say, okay, as a province, we are willing to pay the extra from 150,000. Let's say if a company is saying, Rather than building a house in 150,000, I will build it at 155. Then it will mean extra 5,000 for each and every house. So for that extra 5,000 for each and every house, you need to get a provincial approval because this money to build houses is from the province. So the MM gave them that narrative that I have written a letter to the province and I'm waiting for the province to respond. As soon as the province respond onto my letter that they are willing to pay this extra amount, then I will appoint the company. Then that's what was given to them. But in the meeting, they wanted to deputy to tell them which company has been appointed. And they also had some information which is very sensitive that they said they have been given an information by the provincial government when the deputy went back and reported to them. When was it? This week? A day before yesterday. That was Monday. So the deputy mayor went back Monday to report to them on the matter, on the issues. But in that very same Monday meeting, he also reported on the issues we discussed on Monday morning in our meeting. But also the issue of the contractor, he clearly stated that as a councillor, we are not as councillors allowed to talk on issues of supply chain. And because they wanted him to pronounce the company. Who is this company that has been appointed? And then the deputy mayor said, you know, that is a supply chain process. Once a company is appointed, there are certain processes to be followed. For example, if the MM will sign the letter this week of appointment, they will have to wait for a 21 days period of objections, if there's any objection, before they can say then clearly everything went well. But they said to the deputy, they want the contractor now. It must be appointed now. And then the deputy, when he left, he also felt that the community was happy with the report, but there was another grouping that was saying if the contractor is not pronounced now, they will have another meeting because they need the contractor now. So yesterday we also met, we discussed the matter. The MM gave a report on the matter of the contractor. It's still a matter that is still a supply chain process, which we are not supposed to talk on as councillors. And I don't think the MM will also be comfortable to talk about it in this meeting as well. But in whatever happened, the MM will have to engage with the provincial government on the matter. So, Speaker, it's an interest in companies. It's a sort of a pressure to decide on who to appoint, on when to appoint. I do not know why the province has to share that information to them, sensitive information about companies that the amount of monies that have been there, because we were not aware, but the deputy mayor was also shocked to hear that from the leaders that the province has told them that this is the amount of figures that some companies have quoted and all of that and all of that. So it's actually that problem, Speaker. I am not sure if, because now it's not about housing now, but people might say it's about housing. It is not about housing, what is happening. It's about which company to appoint and when. That's all, Speaker, that I can say, and councillors. But we will continue to engage with the community leaders at all times. I'm not sure if there's any question. If there's any question, Speaker, I'm available. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, this item is under statements and communications. I think we will leave it at that. I think you've given us very good information. There's a lot of misinformation out there. It would be good, if you and the mayor can make a proper press statement on this matter of Koleni, because I can see it's not the riots is not about community interest anymore, because it's small groupings of people that's running around. So it would be good if we can make a proper press statement and give all the relevant information to the people out there as much as we can, as we're allowed to. Then it doesn't look like we're hiding anything. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for that information. I think we are all clear on that. The next item on our agenda is then item number 6, presentations, and I'm going to give over to the CFO to explain the reason for the presentation, and then I will also ask the CFO to just introduce the company that won the tender that must do the valuation role to us, and then they can start with their presentation. Thank you very much. CFO.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As you are aware, based on the reports we have submitted to the council previously about the new valuation role that we are compiling to be implemented next year, we said maybe it will be, if it's possible, Speaker, we can come and make a presentation from the DDP Valuers, which is a company that was successful to help us to compile the valuation role. The presentation won't be long. It will just be an information presentation. If councillors have questions, they will ask questions and we'll be able to answer those questions. But it's just an information sharing purpose, Speaker. Thank you. We can start with the presentation.
Thank you very much. Can you introduce the presenters for us, please?
I'm not exactly sure, Chair, about the name of the presenter. I think they will introduce themselves as they start.
Okay, we can do that. I can't see them, so can I ask whoever is going to make the presentation to please introduce yourselves and the team, and then you can start with the presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Cornay Teron. I'm the Municipal Valuer. Our company has been appointed DDP Valuers to do the valuation role by your council as per Section 33 of the Municipal Property Rights Act. The reason for the valuation role, as you know it, is that is the source document that you use in order to determine the rates that you are going to charge on property rights that are going to be charged on fixed property. So if we can maybe go to the next slide then. The Municipal Property Rights Act is Act 6 of 2004 and it was updated in 2015. According to that Section 23 of the Municipal Property Rights Act, the municipality must draw up and maintain a register in respect of all properties situated within that municipality, properties being immovable, land and buildings. The register must compile of a Part A, which is the valuation role of the municipality, including any supplementary valuation roles. And then Part B, that must specify which properties are exempted or gets rebates, are being phased in or are excluded from rates. So we will compile 2 registers. The important one is the valuation role, where we determine the values of the properties and then the categories that they are going to be rated at, being residential or agricultural or whatever. And then Part B is the one that the finance department will use to say, well, these talk to our rates policy to say these type of properties must be exempted or some of them get rebates, etc. The Municipal Property Rights Act also say that properties must be valued at market value. Market value can be defined as the most probable price a property would obtain on a specific date if a willing seller sold the property in the open market to a willing buyer, and if the property was in the open market for a reasonable time. Market value as per section 45 of the MPRA, we have to determine that as if the property was sold in the open market. This is going to cause some problems in the Bitou, but I will get to that when I discuss the date of valuation. The role players in compiling the municipal valuation role is the municipal valuer, that is myself, the substitute municipal valuer and assistant municipal valuers, which is the valuers, appointed valuers that will assist. Then we have the project manager. To the right here, you have Mr. Mornay Kutsia. He has been appointed as the project manager. He is the one that's working with the SLA and all the legal compliances, public participation, management of the team, etc. Then we have data collectors. They are currently in the field collecting the data. And we also have in-house data capturers, which is computer-based, and admin support. Then to compile the general valuation role, we start with a work list or a master file. This document comprises normally of 4 source documents that we use. We bought a deed stamp from the deeds office. That deed stamp will indicate all the registered properties in the municipal area of Bitou. Then we also use the previous valuation role that was compiled by Rode. We use the financial data that is currently on your system. And we get a list from a GIS list. GIS is your cadastral information, which you get from the Surveyor General. That will indicate all the proclaimed properties. So it's not necessarily registered. So now you have 4 lists of all the properties in Bitou. You combine them, you take out all the duplications, and you should have a complete list of all the properties in the municipal property area or the municipal area. Our property master file has already been completed, and it comprises of 20,262 properties. Please note that's not registered properties, that's properties. So it can also be subdivisions that's not registered yet, or properties that doesn't exist anymore. So this is now the list that we use to compile the general valuation role. The valuation methods that we use, you use different valuation methods. As per section 45 of the MPRA, you have to do accepted valuation methods. To do residential properties, agricultural land and vacant land, we use the comparable sales method. That's where you use similar sales of similar properties to determine the value of all the properties in a specific area. When we do the business properties, income capitalization method of valuation is used. That's your commercial and industrial property, all your shops, etc. That's where you determine the rental rate that they can obtain for that property, and you capitalize that to determine the market value of the property. The third valuation method that we use is the accrued depreciation method of valuation. We normally use that for improved agricultural properties, as well as any other specialized properties like your schools, your churches, hospitals, police stations, etc., where you take into account the cost that it's going to cost to duplicate that building, and then the depreciation applicable. The process that we are following is that we are currently in the data collection process. We use aerial photography to do data collection as well as physical inspections. Physical photographs are taken of all the residential properties, and then rooftop capturing measurements are taken of all the buildings. Residential properties, the buildings that we are taking into account when we do the valuations are carports, decks, lapas. Then we have main building 1, main building 2, which is normally your house. And if there's a granny flat or something like that, that will be main building 2. Other buildings that you can have, like pergolas, etc. You have an outbuilding, maybe there's a shed, a stoop, or a swimming pool. So we consider all those improvements when we are looking at residential properties. Commercial properties and industrial properties, we already had the valuers out here to inspect the commercial and the industrial properties, because normally those are the properties that you can have a lot of comebacks on. The reason also is that currently it's difficult because Bitou have to bring out the valuation roll in the midst of 2020. The valuation date is 2020, where you have the whole COVID pandemic and the influence of that on the property market. So the commercial properties, when we look at that, we look at warehouses, workshops, ordinary retail shops, offices, hotels, guest houses, gyms, petrol filling stations, malls, etc. All your business type of properties. Then agricultural properties, we use aerial photography to measure agricultural properties. There are two parts that get measured: the land use, which is normally your permanent crops like grapes or olive trees, etc. And then you have dry land. You guys don't have a lot of dry land over here, like mealies, etc. Irrigation, lucerne or something like that. And then wasteland, then normally that's the land that's surrounding the homestead, or you have a lot of cliffs and forests. That will be your wasteland because it's not agriculturally used. When you look at farm type improvements, we look at the farm dwelling, the outbuilding, the agricultural stores, sheds, carports, dams, staff housing, and then also animal shelters like chicken coops and pigsties. Section 45 of the Municipal Property Rights Act says that physical inspections is optional and that other systems may be used, including aerial photography and computer-assisted mass appraisal systems. Our SLA with Bitou says that they want physical inspections on all the properties, so we are doing that. We are currently in the process. We have our data collectors in the field and we are inspecting all the properties. Morne and myself did some farms this week and we are ongoing with that. So we are doing data processing, valuations and quality control by extension or per suburb. The date of valuation as per council resolution is the 1st of August 2020. So when we do the valuations, what they say is for the next 3 years that's the contract length, we have to do all the valuations as on 1st of August 2020, even though there will be hopefully a repair in the economy and everything will go better and property values will increase in 2021, 2022. We always have to look at market conditions as on 1st of August 2020. So when we do supplementary valuations or any other valuation adjustments or there's new properties that get subdivided, etc., we have to value them as on 1st of August 2020. This is an ongoing process, the data capturing and the compilation of the valuation roll until the 30th of December this year. Then the finance department will start with internal monitoring and public awareness from the 5th of January up until the 4th of February. That's per tender and SLA, the dates. And we will submit the draft valuation roll on the 1st of January 2021. So in January, they will look at the valuation roll and have their questions, and we will also do public participation with them. We will assist them with that to communicate what is going on and what we did to the community and the role players. And then the final certified valuation roll will be printed and submitted on the 1st of February 2021. This example of the ID cards that were issued to the data collectors. As per section 36 of the MPRA, all data collectors that's working in the field must have the ID card with them. This is to also protect the community and the municipality because we have, as per the Act, access to properties, we can go inside, etc. But we still have to, you always have to present your ID card. It was signed by the MM and the contact details is on there. So at any time that people are uncomfortable, etc., they can phone the municipality or myself then to just give them some peace of mind. Now, the way forward from here, after we have completed the municipal valuation roll, when we handed in the certified roll on the 1st of February, immediately the municipality will advertise that the roll has been compiled and that people can do objections if they are not happy. The objection period will be in March, April, and then from there on you will have your normal appeal process and the supplementary valuation process as you go forward. Because of time constraint, we have printed a leaflet that was handed over to you. I think that the people that's connected virtually can get one from the Secretariat. This is giving more information on how the objection period works, etc. It's very important that council members take note of this whole process and what we are doing because community members will have questions. When we are walking in the field and they see that we are taking photos of their houses or we are going into their businesses and looking around, then they get agitated. And normally we say, please just talk to your council member because they have the information, they know what we are doing, or then alternatively you can call the administration at the municipality. That is my short and sweet presentation, Mr. Speaker. If there's any questions, I will see if they were able to answer them.
Thank you very much for that precise presentation. Is there any questions from councillors?
Speaker, if I may,
Councillor Swart?
not a specific question regarding the presentation. I thank the presenter for it. It's something that is long overdue, and I think may have come about because we have had queries regarding people going around doing the valuations. I just think from the council side that we need to get the message out to the community that these people will be going around and the reason for it, and that there should be cooperation, because up to now, we know they have been busy. There have been a lot of concerns raised about people walking around and the communities not knowing why these people are there. So this presentation is very welcome, and it actually opens up a lot of understanding that maybe we didn't have on how it's done and what's done and the reasons for that. So I just want to say thanks for that, and that it's our duty now to make sure that our communities are aware of this.
Thank you very much, Councillor Swart, and I'm sure the MM took note.
Speaker.
Yes, Councillor Mbali.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, mine also is to thank the presentation. Perhaps also emphasize the importance of communicating with the communities. I think the communications department must do that, and it will help us if the company can share the program of visiting different areas, so that the municipality can be able to communicate effectively and say, by this week or this 2 weeks, they will be focusing on a particular area, and that even councillors of those localities will know when people are coming to that area, so that that communication can assist. And then the last question is just perhaps on the challenges that normally valuers will come across. You will not be having any challenges with the real-time supplementary evaluation as you do your work. I know sometimes there's always challenges with real-time supplementary evaluation for your valuation role maintenance. So that's the only thing I wanted to get an understanding on. Thank you, Speaker. I was raising my hand here, and Councillor Annelies forgot you're not here.
Thank you very much, Councillor Mbali. So do I take it that Councillor Olivier want to say something?
No, Speaker. He forgot that I'm not the Speaker anymore. So he was raising his hand to me.
I think I better be in my chambers, otherwise people are taking over my job.
Speaker.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, thank you.
Thank you very much. Speaker, I just want some clarity, maybe just for information purpose, on the issue of the farms. Previously we had a lot of complaints from the farm dwellers, in fact owners, that our rates are very, very high and unaffordable. Maybe I just want to get clarity, maybe from the valuers, maybe they might be able to assist in terms of policy making as well. Because I've discovered that some of these farmers are old age people now. They used to be active at some stage, and now they are no longer active, and they find it now very difficult to pay. I just want to check is there anything that might be wrong or that might be done around that. Number two is on the issue of, I'm not sure whether it's a zoning or what. There are some activities that take place in farms at times in the form of a restaurant, a sort of a bed and breakfast and all of that. How do we treat that in terms of farms if maybe the zoning was never granted by the council, because this matter has been a bone of contention in some other towns. I just want to get clarity on that, so that in future we know exactly what are we dealing with and what to answer when we get into these farming communities. The challenges that we are there with regard to farming evaluation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry,
Thank you,
Speaker.
Speaker.
DM?
No, it's me, the MM.
Oh, MM. Sorry, MM.
Yes, there's a very interesting question here. If they're going to do the rooftop measurement of a residential building, how are they going to determine whether it's a double story or that type of a building?
I'm sure the presenter got all the questions. Maybe she can answer some of them for us, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yes, I numbered them, so I'm going to start from the top. The public participation question that was raised, the information going to the community, in which areas we are going to be, etc. Public participation is very important. It's also a process that's prescribed by the Act in Section 4, and it's the responsibility of the municipality. So we already placed advertisement in the local newspapers last week to say in what areas we are going to be at what time. This is subject to change because in this area specifically we are very restricted by weather. If it's raining, they cannot work in the streets. So we are keeping an eye on the weather, and we are glad for days like today. So the public participation is also something that is scheduled in the month that they are looking at the municipal valuation role after the values have been determined, also to give people an insight of what we have done and to ask questions on how we did it, etc. So it's partially for data collection and then also for the valuation process. Regarding real-time values with supplementary valuations, like I've said, everything is going back to the 1st of August 2020. So we are determining, as per Section 45 evaluation basis, as on the date of valuation, what is your rental income that you can derive from commercial properties, what is the vacancy percentages, what is the capitalization rate, what is residential property selling for, in which areas, etc. So we are making a valuation basis. We do for residential, commercial and agricultural properties separately. That's a document that we compile also, which is the ownership of the municipality, and it gets used by the auditors as well. So every time we issue a supplementary valuation, it must speak to that research that we've done. So we are always going back to that valuation date. The question that the mayor had regarding the rates on the farms. Municipal rates are obviously now the scope of the municipality, and it gets stipulated in your rates policy that you bring out. That being said, in my experience, you have also prescriptions by the Municipal Property Rights Act to say that you have your basis is the rate that you apply to residential properties, a certain cent in the rand. Then the MPRA say that you can only ask a percentage of that cent in the rand on agricultural properties. So when we give the valuation role, we have categorized into residential, commercial, agricultural, municipal, all the categories as per Section 8. And then the CFO will apply his budget to that specific categories to determine his base rate to residential properties, and that will calculate the rates for the other properties as per your rates policy. So as I'm sure your CFO will comply to that, and then that unfortunately is dictating your agricultural properties. It should not be that high, because I think that the bulk of the value of Bitou lies in the residential properties, or then the coastal properties, being a combination of several type of categories. Like when you have a farming community, for example, in the Karoo, the bulk of the value lies in the agricultural properties because the town properties are not worth that much. Then you have a more distorted rate where the agricultural properties are carrying the whole town budget. But I don't think it will be that distorted here. Also from past experience, the agricultural ratepayers, because they used to pay to the district councils or what we used to call streeksdiensterade, they have certain they are not really rate orientated. So it's something that they will have to get used to as time goes along. Then the question regarding zoning and categories. As per Section 8 of the Municipal Property Rights Act, we do categorize for right purposes based on actual use. That's also as per your rights policy. So zoning is not applicable only for vacant land. Only when a property is unused vacant land, then we will look at what is the zoning. Is this business land, or is this residential land or agricultural land? From there on, as soon as it's improved, you look at actual use. So for example, the farm properties where you have, this is a farm property, there's some lands on it, there are cows, etc., and the farm activities, and then you have, like for example, a wine tasting facility or a restaurant or a guest house or what. Your rights policy allows for us to categorize that as a multi-purpose property. So we will estimate the value, say the value of this property is R1 million, and we will say the farming activities is approximately 60%, so 600,000 rand is categorized as agricultural and 400,000 rand is categorized as business. And the rates will be applied accordingly. So that specific property will get 2 accounts. It can also happen that sometimes there are 3 or 4 users, and then we will categorize accordingly and they will be rated accordingly. Even if you have a residential house and there's a shop or a hairdresser or a mechanic or anything going on there, it will also be multi-purpose the same way. Residential for the part where they are staying in and business for the part where they are conducting the business from. The last question regarding rooftop measurements, that's why we have, before we started with the rooftop measurements, we have sent in the guys that's taking the photos. So you will have your photos, it's coming in front of the rooftop measuring, so you have a photo of the property as well. So you can see the double stories. A challenge that we have here with the rooftop measures is this is quite a forested area. If you look at Nature's Valley, for example, from the top sometimes it can look like it's vacant land. It's just trees, and then you see there's a house on it, because it's underneath the trees. So we take special care with those properties to ensure that we can either get someone out to measure the properties. We yesterday measured some properties in Nature's Valley, or we can get the building sizes from the municipality, from the building office. So that's a challenge that we know about and that we are addressing as we go along. Mr. Speaker, I think that was all the questions that were raised.
That will indeed all the questions, and I think you've answered them very professionally. If there is no more questions, I would like to thank you for your presentation, and you can excuse yourself if you would like, or you can stay on in the meeting.
Speaker,
if you can. Yes, Mr. Mayor.
I just want to direct my question to Councillor Swart. I know he has been involved in this, and Councillor Olivier, they know about this concern from the farming community. Is this general? You're saying it's actually categorized as general if there's a lot of activities taking place in the farm. Multi-purpose. Yes. Councillor Swart, I just want to know from you and Councillor Olivier, if these multi-purpose have been explained to the farming communities, do they understand that there is this kind of a categorization?
Mayor, yes. I think they do understand. As a municipality, we've applied it correctly, and where the problems were before was when we had a category for rural lifestyle. Which was apparently a category we weren't allowed to have. So now the only categories we have on the farm is obviously agriculture, and then you've got to be registered as a farmer and be doing agricultural activities. Then the other category, I believe, is business and residential, and then botanical for the nature reserve type farms. So as far as I'm aware at the moment, those are the only 4 categories. But I understand it is also up to the municipality on whether they wish to allow rebates or charges on certain categories, for instance, pensioners, etc. So where we do have cases of pensioners on the land, at the moment they've got to pay according to the category that they're in, but some of them aren't in a position to afford it since they've been on pension. And unfortunately, at the moment in our municipality, we no longer have a rebate system to make things easier for our pensioners who are facing financial difficulty. So as I understand it at the moment, it's just those 4 categories on the farmland. The problem comes in is where there's a number of these activities happening on a farm. So you might have someone that's got a bit of agricultural use on his property in terms of some sheep maybe, or some horses or something, and some grazing area, and he's also running a business on his farm, plus he lives there as a residence. So you've got a multi-category use, and usually what seems to happen is only one of those categories is used for billing. And I think that is probably what we need to look at, but maybe the presenter can give some ideas and thoughts on that. Thank you.
Okay, I think we have aired this topic quite sufficiently, and I think we need to walk off the topic. I know the farmers will always have problems paying rates and taxes, but I think the ones in Platinum Bay has gotten used to it. We've been doing this for quite some time already, but there will be others that are not keen on paying and having questions. And I'm also happy the question around the 2 accounts has been explained as well. I think the rest can be sorted out during the public participation process. The MM will obviously direct, or the CFO direct the DDP property valuers to the office of the Speaker, because we are currently also busy in a public participation process with regards to indigent users. Yeah, thank you very much. I think, can we now move on to the next point on our agenda? That would be item number 7. And that deals with items for information which have been dealt with by the Executive Mayor in terms of delegated authority. A schedule of items for information is attached. Can I get a proposer and a seconder for us to note that?
Councillor Mbali, propose.
Thank you, Councillor Mbali. Is there a seconder?
Councillor Cabai, second speaker.
Thank you, Deputy Executive Mayor. That will take us off point 7. Our next point on the agenda is point number 8, consideration of reports, non-delegated matters, of which a schedule of items is attached. And we can go to the portfolio of index. There we go. On mine, the first item being the office, section 1, the office of the Executive Mayor. And the first item is item C1 1690920. Engen and Stufken, proposed university, lease on municipal immovable property at Ebenezer. You will find the item on pages 42 to 59. Item is serving. We have recommendations by the committee, subcommittee, and the Executive Mayor.
How do we indicate
Speaker?
to the speaker?
Yes.
Councillor Mbali.
Thank you, Councillor.
And then Councillor Olivier, Speaker.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, just a correction here. I think that's what brought about confusion in the portfolio committee that dealt with the item as well. The item heading should read law clinic and not university. If you remember, the presentation speaks to the university as an entire proposal, but within it has got a law clinic, and that's what the issue of law clinic is being dealt with regard to Ebenezer area. And we had an engagement with the community with their consent, and this information was corrected with the community leaders that the area is not earmarked directly for the university, but the two buildings that we need to use is for the law clinic, which is supposed to start on the 1st of October. And the university in itself, we still need to identify the land, going through the process of rezoning, going to the process of pulp participation. So there are two different matters that we're dealing with. So the heading kind of like mislead and not saying exactly what needs to be done in the area. So that's one issue that I wanted to correct, Speaker. And we'll go with the recommendation by the Executive Mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Before I give Councillor Olivier an opportunity, can we just... Somebody's mic is on there. Can we just change the heading then to proposed law clinic instead of a proposed university? Would that help us, Councillor Mbali? Councillor Mbali?
Yes, Speaker, sorry.
Thank you. Councillor Olivier, you have the floor.
Thank you, Speaker. We had a long discussion about the wording and everything and this whole item. So irrespective if it's a law clinic or a university eventually, I go with the item of the portfolio committee, Speaker. And if that is not going to be accepted by this council, I will record my objection against the mayor's recommendation.
Thank you, Councillor Olivier. Is there a second to the item?
Speaker.
Yes, Councillor Machila.
Yes, I seconded, Speaker.
Thank you,
what Councillor Mbali was proposing.
Thank you, Councillor Machila. So I take it, Councillor Olivier, your vote will be recorded against the resolution?
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Olivier. Can we then move to the next item on the agenda? Next item would be item C11700920, Bitou Municipality, Risk Universe. You will find the item on page 60 to 65. Councillor Mbali.
Councillor Mbali, thank you, Speaker. We go with the recommendation by the Executive Mayor for those delegations.
Thank
Speaker,
you very much, Councillor Olivier.
Speaker, I second that recommendation by the Executive Mayor.
Speaker, are you still there?
Can you hear me, councillors?
We can hear you, Speaker.
Yes, Speaker.
Yes, Speaker.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Speaker.
Can anybody hear me in the chambers or anywhere?
We can hear you, Speaker, the chambers. Me, the MM.
Speaker, Councillor Swartz, I can hear you.
Speaker, Councillor Kabai, the council chambers. We thought you went to the kitchen.
Is any councillor speak? Yes, Speaker, we can hear you, but I can't hear you.
You see, when you use telecom, that's what happens.
Ask for the phone at 6609 6807. But it doesn't look like I can hear you, can hear me, but for some reason I can't hear you. And I don't know why. I can't hear you.
I can hear you, Speaker.
I can hear you, Speaker.
Take you literally 5 minutes to get here, Speaker.
But yeah, this is a milestone for us as well. We are on YouTube and we're chairing meetings from a distance. It is all good. I don't know, those councillors, I've just said to myself, those councillors sitting in the chambers, I know who's going to get. Yes, Councillor Mrs. Prinsloo.
So, Mr. Speaker, some of the councillors are just outside. Can I just call or in again, please?
Thank you very much. You can do that.
Thank you.
Can you continue, Speaker?
Are you there, all of you?
Yes, please, let's continue.
Thank you very much. Okay. We were on. Now I have to go back. We were on the item of the municipalities risk averse, if I'm not mistaken. Just get to this thing now again. Wait, just give me a second, please. Just give me a second.
Yes, we are dealing with the risk management framework, Speaker.
Yes. Okay, that is item, I call the item, it's item C1-171-0920, Bitou Municipality Risk Management Framework document. And you will find the item on page 66 till 141.
Thank you, Speaker. Councillor Mbali, go to recommendation by the Executive Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Mbali. There's the proposal that we go with the recommendation by the Executive Mayor.
I second that, Speaker, Councillor Makila.
Councillor Machila seconded. There was another councillor talking in the background.
It was Councillor van Reijnen.
What is the issue, Councillor van Reijnen?
Was seconded, Councillor, Speaker.
Okay, thank you very much. You were jumped by Councillor Machila on that one. Thank you. Next item, councillors. We're going to section 2 on our agenda, the finance section, and we're dealing with item C2-191-0920, the outstanding debt report for July 2020, and you will find the report on page 143 till 147. Item is 7.
Speaker, Councillor Mbali.
Thank you, Councillor Mbali.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, we understand that public participation is already out, informing people on the issues of collection. But if you look at the outstanding debt by councillors, there is a councillor that has an outstanding debt for more than 120 days, Speaker. I'm not sure who's that councillor, but I will request that all of us as councillors make sure that we are not more than 90 days in terms of the Act, and that if a councillor owing must please make an arrangement with finance on how that debt will be dealt with, failure which the Speaker will have to act against us if we don't do that, because we are not allowed that we owe rates and taxes as councillors. So I will just appeal to whoever the councillor is, because it's just the account number that is there, to really deal with that particular issue, because it's more than 120 days, which we are not allowed to be more than 90 days. Thank you, Speaker. We go with the recommendation by the Executive Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Bali. Councillor Swart, I see you have your hand up.
Thank you, Speaker. Regarding the recommendations, I'd like to see something in this recommendation to try and improve this department's accuracy of accounts. We've had a number of instances, not only recently, but over the last at least a year, with incorrect accounts, incorrect billings, incorrect meter readings, and incorrect capturing of payments of accounts, where ratepayers have been billed interest on monies that the council has actually had in its bank account already, but maybe instead of just using the account number, the person just used their name as well as the account number. So these are incidents that I've come across that have happened recently. 2 weeks ago, SMSs were sent to people saying that their accounts were going to be handed over for non-payment, and most of this was incorrect because of wrong information. The account that is outstanding is my account. I paid on the 4th of September an amount of 5,000 Rand onto that account, and it is not reflected. So again, coming to council, almost a month after my payment, there is wrong information presented by this department. And it is a regular thing, and we need to start doing something about it. And the recommendation, I believe, needs to reflect that something needs to be done to ensure the accuracy of our municipal accounts. Thank you.
So, Speaker, just before
Yes,
Councillor Dave sits, did I get it? He says he paid in September.
On the 4th of September.
Okay, because this matter or this report is of the end of July. That is why your account will reflect as such. So, but I hear you, Councillor, with regard to the issues of billing, which needs to be attended to. And I think collectively that we need to, and the CFO, I'm sure, is listening, as they are dealing with the collection, they need to make sure that the issue of billing, because Councillor Makila also raised it in his area about the houses that are not built in terms of their rates. So that issue is coming for the second time, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Mbali, for noting that. I must then check the period, because I don't believe the whole amount could have been in 90 days, but I will check on that as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Swart. Yes, please take note of the 90 days.
Speaker.
Yes,
Speaker.
Mr. Mayor.
I think, Speaker, it's been indeed a concern, the issue of billing. I've been getting some correspondence as well around this matter. I think we need to, the MM must go and look at our customer care register as to how many people have complained about the issue of billing, and we need that report and the reasons behind some of these frustrations to our ratepayers and communities, because it's been an issue for quite some time now. Thank you,
Speaker, can I comment on that, please?
En hy bly van oor af record.
I see Moses and the administration are on my line. Just 1 second, let me just sort this out. That is sorted out. Yes, Mr. Mayor. Can I make a suggestion? You mentioned the issue of the customer care report. I think we should get monthly reports on customer care, because a lot of councillors get reports from that section. Maybe from on your side, at the mayoral committee, we get monthly reports, Mr. MM, from the customer care section, so that we know which is the areas of concern, if it's finance or electrical or whichever section it is. I think that will help us a lot.
Mr. Speaker, can I maybe just make an input on this matter?
Thank you, CFO.
Mr. Speaker, I think we need to put the matter into context. And this is where, the good thing now, we have requested that all calls should be logged through customer care, so that we are able to monitor the complaints that we receive, and we are able to resolve those complaints as they come in. And Mr. Speaker, we bill over 21,000 accounts every month. And the complaints we receive as the municipality every month is between 300 to 400 of the customers, which is way below the 5% target that we gave ourselves, because we know for sure, Speaker, that we are unable to read all the meters on a monthly basis due to a number of reasons. We know for sure that we are unable to capture all our receipts, especially if a person did not use the correct reference for that. So obviously those will come into the 300 to 400 that we have. But the main issue here is, and that is why we said, let the complaints there, because my duty is to monitor the type of complaints. And I just need to mention, even in the 300 to 400 we have, Speaker, some of them is people wanting statements or people wanting to get clarity on their accounts, but the actual errors on the billing are very minimal in this regard. But we are saying every complaint has its own merit, and we will present that information. We are tracking it, we are monitoring it, we are ensuring that we respond in time to those customers. But we know that there are customers who want to sensationalize their issue, and they end up copying everyone in the municipality. But we work on that. The norm or the rule that says we seem to be having a general complaint, you can't say if you issue 21,000 accounts and 300 of the customers complain, and then we say there is a big problem that needs to be monitored. The problem is not big, and we are expecting it. And generally in local government, Speaker, if you ask anywhere, complaints will always be there after billing. The issue is, how do you resolve those complaints? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, CFO. I think everybody vent themselves on it. Can I get a seconder? I had Councillor Bali proposing.
I just want to correct the CFO. We are right to be concerned. You must not say we can't say it's correct. We are right to voice ourselves on the matter, because the community members are also questioning these things when we're in public meetings. So whether the target you said you are happy with it, once in the community hall one person's raise it in a full hall, it becomes a negative matter. So I don't want us to say that it can be correct. It is always correct when the community raise their concern, and we are also correct when we also raise some of those concerns, as you are equally correct when you respond to those concerns yourself. So I just wanted to correct that, Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I sincerely think that the report on customer care will help us a lot. Can I get that mic muted? Thank you very much. Can I get a seconder?
Councillor says, Mr. Speaker, seconded.
Thank you, Councillor Saisi. Can we then move on to the next item on our agenda? That is Section 3, Corporate Services, where there is no items for consideration. Section 4, Community Services. We have one item, item number C4880920, Councillor Kamkam.
Councillor Benvogel and myself we've been disconnected for a while, so I'm not sure which did you deal with the second item now, or which item did you deal with? The item about the, because we've been disconnected, Speaker, so I wanted to, I had input on, which item did you deal with, Speaker?
We are now on item Section 4, Community Services. That's where we are.
Okay, no, then it's fine, Speaker, because we then missed the other items.
I'm so sorry about that. I didn't see that you were not there, Councillor. Are you happy for us to continue then?
Yes, must continue, Speaker. She's not happy, but must continue.
Thank you, councillors. We are on item Section 4, Community Services. Item C4880920, the development, design and planning of Bitou's waste minimization program at the transfer station facility in Kwanaktula. You will find the item on page 149 until 208. Item is serving.
Speaker, Councillor Kapai.
Thank you, Deputy Executive Mayor.
Speaker, we are very delighted and happy about this item. The development and design and planning of Bitou waste minimization program has been coming. Therefore, Speaker, I will be recommending that we go with the recommendations by the Executive Mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Kabai, Deputy Executive Mayor. Is there a seconder?
I'll second, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor
Swart.
For that. Maybe, councillors, with your indulgence, I know we also went out on tender a while ago on the rehabilitation of the dump site, because I had questions around that. Can I, just a little progress report on that? How far that project is?
Thank you, Mayor. Sorry. Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, Speaker. Where we are now, the service provider has been appointed. Now there's going to be a site handover so that the prospective service provider can go on site. I'm told it's this week. I'm correct, Director? Yes, I'm told it's this week, tentatively tomorrow. And then the commissioning of the rehabilitation will start. That's where we are, Speaker, now. I'm talking about the Robeck landfill site.
Yes, then maybe we should also then have a press statement on that as well.
I didn't hear you, Speaker.
I said maybe we can have a press statement on that so that the public can be aware of it. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Speaker.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, councillors. That concludes that item on waste minimization. Can we then go to Section 5, Engineering Services? And the first item we will be dealing with is item C51130920, and it's the Municipal Infrastructure Grant, the MIC funding, project registration for the medium-term expenditure framework. You will find the item on page 210 to 212. Item is serving.
Councillor Mbali, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Mbali.
Speaker, we go with a recommendation by the Executive Mayor on the Ebenezer and Corland MIG applications.
Thank you, Councillor Mbali. Is there a seconder to the recommendation?
Second, Speaker, Councillor Makila.
Thank you, Councillor Machila. I heard another voice there in the background. Who was that, councillors?
It's fine, Speaker.
Okay, thank you, Councillor van Reijnen. Next item then is item C5114-0920. Electrical and mechanical complaints report for 2019-2020 with standby and overtime allocation implications for the 2020-2021 financial year. You will find the item on page 213 until 218. Item is serving.
Speaker, Councillor Mbali.
Thank you, Councillor Mbali.
Oh, no, sorry, I wanted to read the, no. Stop there. Now, Speaker, I just wanted to make sure that the recommendation that the municipal manager or the director may make a discretion, I see is there, and we said 10 o'clock. I see it's 9 o'clock there.
Okay, let's go to the recommendation of the executive mayor.
Yeah,
Still 9.
yes, we go with the recommendation by the executive mayor, but then recommendation should read 10.
Yeah, not 9.
10 p.m.
Okay. Is there a second to that recommendation?
Seconded, Mr. Speaker. Councillor says.
Thank you, Councillor Saisi, for that. If there's no further input, can we then move to the next item? That item carried. Next item is item C51150920. And item title is Progress on the Solar Water Heaters Project, implemented by the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy. You will find the report on page 219 until 250. This issue has been coming on for a couple of years, and I have not seen any geysers on anybody's roof. So I'm happy for this report. Item is serving.
Thank you, Speaker. Councillor Mbali. Speaker, as the mayoral committee, we raised serious concerns with regard to the pace in which this project is being implemented. And as a result, Speaker, we incurred expenditure which we have not budgeted for in terms of the storing of the material. We do, however, understand that it was a condition that we find a storage for those items until it's implemented. But if you read the report, it does indicate that this project might start in January next year, because the tender process by the department ends in November, or should be concluded by November. And a training of 92 people, only 33 or 36 have now been taken. So it means that there's quite a number of people that still needs to be trained, including the installers themselves that still needs to be trained. And our concern here is that the department seem to have dumped these solars on us and not really moving with high pace in the implementation of it. Hence, the executive mayor will be writing to the department and relevant authorities to really voice our dissatisfaction on this matter, and that it must be fast-tracked. We understand that COVID also played a role. However, we do believe that we should have done better and make sure that some of these areas, the implementation will have already started. So I thought I need to bring that discussion we had into the council's attention, Speaker. With that, Speaker, we go with the recommendation by the executive mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Mbali. Is there a seconder?
Seconded, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Machila. Our next item is item carried. Next item is item C5-116-0920. And the title of the item is Capital Project Implementation Plan. And we're dealing with the progress report for the period ending June 2020. You will find the item on page 251 until 259. Item serves.
Speaker.
Councillor
Councillor
Van Vogel, sorry. Sorry, Councillor Van Vogel.
Yes,
Floor is yours.
Speaker, I'm just a bit concerned on page 255.
Yes.
Under office building maintenance, upgrading of the New Horizon Community Hall. Speaker, this project has been coming on for a very long time now, for 3 consecutive years. And each time our officials come out and they promise the New Horizon people that the contractors will be on site, everything is sorted. I'm shocked. I know it was budgeted for the 3 years. It's been budgeted for again. And if you look at the comments, they did say the tender closed on 13 December 2019, BEC out on 6 February 2020. No acceptable bids was received and therefore cancelled. Speaker, and then you go further on, the rest of the other funds were not spent through PMU and cannot be held liable for the expenditures it has been used by user department. Speaker, that hall that we are in New Horizon, people are paying fees there for the hiring of the hall. And it's unacceptable for the community of New Horizon. Many a times they were outspoken in public meetings where officials were present. And every time they came just to tell them, we are on time, we are coming, we will do. So, Speaker, the report is as of June. So what I would like from the officials, if I can have, where are they standing, a report, and where are they now? Because they say on program, it just states on program, but it doesn't indicate here where in the program we really are. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Van Vogel. Is there an answer on that, Mr. Roeder?
Chair, I'm just trying to get the project manager Furlan in here to explain it, but it looks like it will have to go out on tender again after we didn't get any acceptable bids. I don't know if the chairperson of the BAC has any further comments on that. This would be the CFO.
Mr. Roeder, that would be then the 3rd or 4th time that we go out on tender on this one.
Yeah, look, Chair, I'm just waiting for the project manager to come in to explain this.
Thank you, Speaker. And I would also like to know, why are the bids not acceptable?
Okay. Let's get an explanation on that, because this project, I think that the same goes for the taxi rank in town. They all fall in the same category. Mr. Roeder, is Mr. Steerman there?
No, he's not here yet, Chair.
Okay, let's leave it then. Anyway, can we get a proper report on this to the mayoral committee, please? ASAP.
Okay, we'll do, Chair.
Thank you very much. Can I get a seconder for the recommendations?
Speaker.
Councillor says.
Sorry, Speaker.
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Speaker, I think I will need council support in some of official activities, especially when it comes to the spending. There are people that we must suspend, whether legally or illegally. Some of these tender processes are delayed deliberately for specific personal vendettas. As a result, we end up not spending the money that we budget for. It was embarrassing when some officials were fighting about specification tenders because of specification that was wrong and have to be turned back and all of that. So some of the work that they are doing is not proper and it's delaying the spending in some of these most important service delivery projects. So in that case, at times it has to do with senior officials, head of departments as well. So how then do we, tolerate that? I don't think it's fair. And I think action must be taken. I know that the MM sometimes have to deal with these things, but we need to break the law at times here in order for us to deliver these services. We can't be held hostage by officials who are not doing their work in terms of making sure that the specification before a tender goes out there, it is properly done. And then 3 months down the line, the tender processes take almost 3 months to be completed. Now, when it's turned back after 3 months, it's going to be re-advertised again for another 3 months. That is 6 months already in a financial year, which is unacceptable. And I think, Speaker, we really need, as councillors, you can empower me to fire some of the people that are not doing this thing. Even if it's legal, you have to pay the money. Thank you, Speaker.
Speaker,
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Mbali.
Councillor Mbali.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Definitely, Speaker, we will not empower the executive mayor to proceed with illegal and unlawful activities. But we will definitely empower the executive mayor to act legally to make sure that service delivery happens. And in so doing, Speaker, we did raise the matter with the municipal manager to say we are concerned with regard to the space in which these processes takes. We've got reports that some officials at times don't even attend these meetings that they're supposed to attend. And we will await for that report, and we will make sure that in terms of the law, consequence management does happen, so that we as politicians are not blamed by our communities for the lack of service delivery. And we are worried, Speaker, we must indicate, if our procurement processes take longer or these such things happen, we might even lose some of the MIG money back to whoever gave us that money. And that is a serious concern which we must never allow to happen. You'll remember at some point we lost 8 million rand, which was taken, and we cannot go back to that position. The municipal manager needs to look at how do we expedite the tender procurement processes, because as councillors we are not allowed to be part of these issues, but this is the only oversight we can play to make sure that things do happen. With that, Speaker, we will go with the recommendation by the executive mayor, but not the one of acting unlawfully.
What about the one that was added, Councillor Mbali, that we get a report, progress report on that community hall issue?
Chair, you've already spoken to that, Speaker. This is an annual report, Speaker, that we are dealing with. It is an item.
Thank you, Mr. Rueda.
Yeah, Chair, I've got I got hold of Ferden. So what happened? The tender did go out as the report is saying, and no successful bidder or bidder was identified. And then with the adjustment budget, the funding was taken away. Now you'll remember that this gets budgeted under the Community Service Director, and we act as agent for them. So as things stand.
Yes, Mr. Rueda.
Yeah. So as things stand, there's no money on the current budget for it. So it went out on tender. We couldn't identify a acceptable bidder. Then the funding through the adjustment budget was taken away.
But it's not the first time that this item was advertised for tender.
Yeah, I think prior to February, yes, it was advertised previously as well.
Mr. Speaker, can I come in here? At one stage last year, during June, it was said that the tender is lapsed. Please, I need a report on this. I had to report back to my community. They need answers.
Thank you, Councillor Olivier. Can I get a seconder for the recommendations then?
Councillor says
There's a
seconded,
noise.
Mr. Speaker.
There's a noise. Somebody's mic is on. Can I get indication whose mic is on? And it unfortunately must be in the chambers where the mic is on. Thank you. Then we move on to the next item then, which is Section 6, Economic Development and Planning. Item C6, 120-0920, Economic Development and Tourism Report for the period 1st of April 2020 till June 2020. You'll find the report on page 288 until 311. Thank you. Item 7.
Sorry, Speaker.
Yes.
There's an item C511800920. We have passed that one. Skip that one, which deals with MIG for 2019-2020 annual report.
Oh, I was under the impression we dealt with it.
No, we're still dealing with the capital project implementation plan.
Thank you very much. Let's go back then. Sorry, councillors. Let's go to item C5118-0920, Municipal Infrastructure Grant. And I think it's the annual report for 2019-2020. You'll find the report on page 260 until 286. Item is serving.
Speaker, Councillor Mbali.
Thank you, Councillor Mbali.
Go with a recommendation by the Executive Mayor.
Thank you. There's a proposal. We go to recommendation.
Seconded, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Somebody is got a mic on. Who else is locked on to this council system? That's talking in the background. Thank you. With that recommendation and the secondment to it, the item is then carried. Can we now go to Section 6, Economic Development and Planning?
Sorry, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Councillor, Mrs. Jansen.
Just want to inform you that it seems to me that Councillor Kamkam's mic is off again, that she can't hear us again.
I wonder why that is. Okay. Do we still have a quorum? We still have 4 councillors in chambers.
Speaker, we've got more than 4. We've got Councillor Makila, Councillor Seisi, Councillor Mbali, Councillor Kabai, the Mayor, and Councillor Olivier.
Okay. Thank you very much.
There are 6 here.
Yeah, and there's 4 outside, so it's 10. It looks like it's Councillor Van Vogel and Councillor Kamkam that are not with us. The Councillor Van Vogel is with us.
No, Speaker. Yes, and Councillor Kamkam is with me. She is with me, but she's having problems with her.
Okay, as long as she can hear, yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. Can we then move to the next item? Item serves. Economic Development and Tourism. Report for 1st of April till June 2020. Councillors?
Mr. Speaker, Councillor says we go with the recommendation by the Portfolio Committee.
Thank you, Councillor Seisi. Is there a seconder?
Speaker.
Yes,
Speaker.
Mr. Mayor.
Sorry, it just came into my mind now. You remember that when COVID-19 struck, there were some programs for the year that were budgeted and all of that are boosting tourism into the town. Your year functions, there's including your gospel and others, your golf tournament. There's a number of these events, and your youth month, your women month, and your activism against gender-based violence in November and so on.
Yes.
Some of those projects, Speaker, due to COVID-19, we said it might not be safe if we continue with this project. But I'm raising this so that if Council needs a report on the matter and maybe the budgeting on the matter, the manager tourism must also highlight if we will still have to do this kind of programs, as that at times they might lead to the spread of the virus in the town. It's something that we need to discuss, and if we still need to pursue them this year, or we put a stop to them this year and continue with them next year, some of these activities. But I'm not sure what would tourism advise on the matter. But I'm just worried of honoring the contracts, which amounts to millions of rand at times, and then we don't yield the necessary results because people are also afraid to come or to visit at the moment. But despite them being afraid to visit, also we need to look at the matter of the spread of the virus into the town if we might do that. It's something that I think Council should discuss and decide on. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Speaker?
Yes, Councillor Bali.
Speaker, I just want to support one element that the Executive Mayor raised. You will remember, all of us, that we are now on alert level 1, which definitely the country has opened, including international travels, only for those risky countries that cannot be allowed. Now, the focus should be how do we assist in the reopening of the economy in our town. And I think the report that the Executive Mayor speaks to should highlight those areas, whether some of the activities are of the assistance in trying to rebuild the economy of the town. And all those that are not necessarily really speaking to the rebuilding and opening of the economy in town should really not be continued, should be discontinued and focus on only those that assist. However, that's the report that the Executive Mayor really requests. Maybe when we get that, we'll have an informed view on what decision to take going forward. But we should be in a position to say, now that we're on alert level 1, the country is open, but mindful of the fact that the virus is still there, what do we do to assist the economy to open and to strive in our own town? And I think that report will speak to those things. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Yeah, thank you, Councillor Mbali and the Executive Mayor. Although I don't think we should wait for that report to come to a council meeting. I think council already approved some of these programs on a multi-year basis. I think maybe a report should go to the Executive Mayoral Committee. You can discuss it there and take a decision on which ones need to be continued with and which ones don't need to be continued with. And I think sooner rather than later as well, because some of those people that we've had multi-year contracts with have already starting to make inquiries, I think, to the MM about that, yeah. So yeah, I agree fully with you with that. But it doesn't have to come to council. Council already took multi-year decisions on that, especially if there's budgets to link to it. Then can we get? We had a proposal for acceptance of the report. Is there a second?
Second, Executive Speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Mbali. If we then could move to the next item on the agenda, it's item C6 1210920, and it's our response to the motion. When will this petition, illegal buildings and spaza shops, be addressed with the community? That's the motion that was submitted quite a while ago by, I think, Councillor Olivier, if I am not mistaken. You will find the report on page 312 until page 315. The report is serving.
Speaker, Councillor Mbali.
Thank you, Councillor Mbali.
You go with the recommendation by the Executive Mayor.
I would like to speak to that item, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Mbali. Councillor Olivier.
Thank you, Speaker. I do appreciate seeing this motion. I think it affects everyone. We corrected it in the portfolio committee that it had to include illegal buildings as well, because illegal buildings are not necessarily spaza shops. The one thing I also would like to request is that we put a time frame on it. We're noting it, but can we please have some kind of time frame, which I'm expecting from you, Speaker, so that it can be done as soon as possible, because I think it's becoming a huge challenge in all communities. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will be discussing it with the municipal manager, and then we will issue you with a time frame. Unfortunately, I can't do it now. Thank you, Councillor.
And with that, I'll go with the recommendation.
Thank you very much. Then the item carried. That concludes item number 8 on our agenda.
Speaker, if I may.
Who is that, Councillor Swart?
While we're speaking about motions, you have reminded Council and the officials on a number of occasions about the motion I submitted last year regarding the business rental properties of the municipality, for which an answer is still outstanding.
Thank you, Councillor Swart. Yeah, the municipal manager hopefully take notes of it. I have spoken to him about it as well, outside our formal council meeting. MM, can we please get that report served in front of us? Yeah, please. Thank you very much. Thanks, Councillor Swart. Can we move to item 9, urgent matters submitted by the municipal manager? I did not receive any. Item 10, consideration of notices of motions, none received. Item 11, consideration of motions of exigency, none received. Item 13, in-committee matters. The minutes of the in-committee meeting for the 31st of August will serve at the next meeting. My apologies for that. So we will not be dealing with the minutes of the 31st of August, in-committee minutes. Item 13.2, consideration of reports, non-delegated matters in committee. We have no items for consideration. Item number 14, recording of councillors present. Let me start there with Councillor Van Vogel.
Present, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Then I will also do Councillor Kamkam, that's there with her.
Present, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Councillor Ndai. Councillor Sumaya Ndai.
Present, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Ndai.
Present Speaker.
I got you, Councillor Ndai. Then we have Councillor Mbali in chambers.
Confirm, I'm here.
Councillor Machila.
I'm here, Speaker.
Thank you. Councillor Olivir.
Present, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Councillor, can somebody just write a note there for Councillor Ndai that we got her? She's delayed somehow. Councillor Saisi.
Yes, Speaker.
Councillor Van Reijnen.
Yes, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Councillor Swart, did I call you?
No, you didn't, Speaker, but I'm still here.
Thank you, Councillor Swart. The Deputy Executive Mayor, Councillor Hereby.
Present, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Executive Mayor, Councillor Lobesi.
Speaker, before I confirm, where are you sitting in your house?
I'm definitely not in the bedroom. I'm at the round table of the Knights, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Speaker. It's the first time that you're sharing meeting from home.
This is a milestone. This is the milestone for us, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. You did very well for sharing a meeting at home. Thank you very much, Speaker. I confirm.
Thank you very much. But this, Mr. Mayor, this helped me because I know that we are busy in the process of acquiring software for councillors. Not software, hardware, tablets and stuff. And I know now which councillors should get it. It should be all the councillors that are not in the chambers, because the councillors in the chambers doesn't look like they are technologically advanced enough to work from the outside.
I know, Speaker, we must object on that thing. Otherwise, you must run fiber to Kwanukutula, to Kranzuk as well, so that we are able to participate from our areas.
But I don't
run
believe
it only in
fiber.
town. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Luckily, Councillor Mbali, it's my decision. Thank you very much for your presence there in the chambers, and Mr. Sompani. I know Mr. Roeder is probably on a distance. Mr. Friedman is virtually as well.
I'm present.
Are you present in the chambers?
No, I'm present in my office.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's what I'm meaning. Yeah, thank you. Also, Mr. Nkefa is virtually present as well. So is Mr. Loliwe, Mr. Girika, Ms. Bester, and obviously the officials that are in support, Mr. Kova, Mrs. Janssen, the IT team, and also I'm sure the communications manager is also there in the chambers. Thank you very much for your presence and your attendance and your participation. Yeah, I think we can now close the meeting. Meeting is concluded. Thank you very much.